And this is another play all three. My scoreboard's bugged. There we go. We're good. And I'm excited to see it. Like we said, Dave, just got to repeat myself a couple times here. This is two players who have 6-0 already in Group B. It very much seems like it's going to be a fight amongst the other players to see who's going to stay up. Hera's gone for the Lithuanians in the blue, and Villese has gone for the Britons. Did you happen to see the Viper versus Classic Pro set yesterday?
I watched the final game, and I think I caught a bit of the second game, but I can't remember what the second game was. I remember Viper trying his best to get hit by every mangonel shot in the final game.
Oh, the final game. Yep. Yep.
I asked him that. I was like, was that a challenge or something? He's like, he had outposts. I couldn't do anything.
In fairness to him, what you missed was he lost 5 villagers to man-at-arms at the start.
No,
so
I saw that. I did
okay.
see that too. Yeah. The outposts clearly helping.
Well,
Classic Pro with that one too.
The reason I asked is because there have been a lot of civilizations chosen for this that suit the hybrid aspect. The Lithuanians with their ability to use the extra food, to get wood, dock earlier, Persians, Japanese, the list goes on. But Viper, he picked Britons, and he was the first person to pick Britons on this map, which has been reasonably common, I guess. And it looked so good, and I love the pick. You have so much food already with the elephants. Then Britons get the sheep bonus, which applies to all the water buffalo, which have 150 food. And so for Viper, it was pretty much just not skip water entirely, but just don't prioritize it like you would islands, as some players have done. And so I think this pick suits Villese, and I love it here.
Well, I still like Lithuanians, and I think I was talking with Jordan about this, and this is my opinion currently. Over all tournament maps that are the most popular competitive settings, I think Lithuanians are consistently the best civ to pick or have in your draft, just because they're so viable on so many maps, right?
Yep,
And we can see it here already for Hera, as he's sent the villagers to wood early, and he's going to have a dock much earlier than Viper. And actually for Golden Swamp, that's going to be a really good dock position. There's 3 fish there. Viper also has a couple good ones he can place, but 3 fish close by is nice.
It's Villese, by the way, not Viper.
Oh,
I know you know that, but you said it twice.
Did I say Viper?
Twice, yep.
Oh my god, dude.
It's good. It's good.
God, I got Viper brain.
Yeah, you know how it is though. Like the first time, normally you and I, we just don't mention it. You know, the
I'm
second
eating
or
my
third time
ketchup
we
chips,
say it.
dude. I'm eating my ketchup chips. I can't focus.
Okay. How dare you bring that up? Because ketchup chips are the best, and I haven't had them in a very long time.
They're so good, dude.
Yeah.
Do they even sell them down near you? Probably not, right?
Probably not. It's probably why I haven't had them in a long time, but I remember having them growing up.
No.
But yeah, the dock time is actually very similar here. So both going to prioritize the early fishing. Small reminders, there's plenty of gold near the player bases. So you do not need to take the middle gold right away like you might Gold Rush or any other gold-focused map. Maybe we're wrong, by the way. Maybe we are not going to see Villese choose the route of Viper and go for archers and militia. So far, seems like he's prioritizing the fish, and so is Hera.
In a bad spot for Villese.
Yeah, true.
That villager is in a bad spot. He can quick wall himself on this terrain.
Hera's
and
thinking
Hera is
about
just
it.
going to hang around. He's like, do I want to lose the HP on my scout for a chance to kill that villager? Where is the scout from Villese? And it's probably a wise decision because I think Villese could have delayed long enough to get his scout over there. And then best case scenario for Hera, he loses a villager, but he's sending a villager forward now. So he wants to take the fight, and both players getting loom at the same time. They're both thinking the same thing.
Yeah, now Villese will be a little shocked by this, but I wonder if Hera's going to try and like gate in the dock or something. This is very peculiar.
No, it's like a makeshift rush.
Yeah, very odd. I mean, obviously Micro matters. They're fighting with the same unit potential here, and so far Hera has the slight advantage because of the scout HP.
See,
But
makeshift
Hera's
rush.
clicked up.
There we go.
Huh.
Kill the fishing ship.
Also, where on earth did they store that massive knife that they have?
Well, we don't ask those questions. We're not doing a full cavity search on villagers today, my friend.
Now he's also stealing the salmon
now he's
here.
Stuck.
Well, I love Hera's uptime, and I love the fact that Hera has more HP on the scout. I think you could question whether or not this whole villager journey has been worth it so far, but it certainly is putting some pressure on Villese. And Hera probably going to go for a dock of some sort, as he is transferring some villagers to gold right now. He doesn't have a barrack, so yeah, maybe 2 docks for the Canadian. And I'm expecting the same for Villese.
And Villese hasn't had any information on this either from Hera. So Valesa's going forward with that dock. Can Hera see that? He can, and he's going. He's like, "Hey, bro, I know everything
What
that you're up
is
to."
this?
It'll be so funny if one of those players, if they complete the docks, and then one of those guys accidentally makes a ship in that little area.
Oh, true. Honestly, it's likely that would happen.
And probably more likely for Villese than.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Hera.
If he sends, because he's gonna send stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of through that gap potentially and pad things weird. Hera's benefiting from his uptime hugely here, though. He's going to be up about 20, 30 seconds faster, which gives him the edge. Also killed the scout. And so he's in a good position and most likely will micro down this villager. There should be no way to save it. I know quick walls are possible, but Hera will just run away last minute. Impressive stuff as we see fire galleys for both. And very different game from what we've seen in previous Golden Swamp games. Nice bait. Nice bait.
Nice bait. Great bait, because he could have blocked with the fishing ship if the villager got close enough, but Villese shouldn't have responded to that scout until it's red on top of him. But he was one hit away from death, so it's really, really tough. And Hera still has the scout alive, gets some vision. He knows about the double dock, so that's probably what it's going to be for Villese. And he knows about the villager on the middle, too. I wonder if Villese was thinking about a forward dock on Hera as well, like a third one even.
Something that could hurt Hera here is that his Repairville, and Villese needs to go out and repair. His Repairville is now weak, and his docks are split up, so he loses his scout. But if Hera wants to bring his villager out to repair, and he's currently just building houses, that's not going to be so easy for him because the villager is so weak. So let's see. Good micro from Hera so far.
Great micro. And now Villese has to go all the way around
it?
that pond. Villese has more fire galleys on the way, but Hera's are closer.
Is it worth
Bad
it to
news
try and
bears.
get that Vill? I guess not. Yeah, Hera just getting to the numbers faster here. And now he's weakening this other villager. And Dave, this could be the problem for Villese against Hera, is his style is so meta, and Hera's like the king of meta, that if they're both doing the same thing every single game, I think I would give the edge to Hera. And so far, it's looking good. I mean, amazing
Especially
for
if
Hera.
if you're gonna contest water with Britons against Lithuanians, you need a good start.
Yeah, and I doesn't it play into the Lithuanians' hands, who typically have the faster uptime on water? Again, it's how Villese can dominate most players. It doesn't normally shift his style too much, but he's going to lose his fishing ships right now. And he's making a journey over to Hera's fishing ships. And in all fairness, Hera has 2. But you're going to see that wood count climb for both players as they have to think, do I even want to make more on water at this point? It kind of looks like this has been resolved. I would like to see a barracks from somebody right now.
Villese is now trying to block the fire with the fishing ship to take it out, but there's another one behind that. So like, fire goes down anyway. And look at his home base. He's got fire ships inside the docks. Now, one good thing for him is he doesn't have to keep investing on water here. As long as he has the flags there, Hera's kind of in the dark on whether he should continue making fire galleys, and he's making 2 more. At the end of the day, he does want to control this area, though, so that's not the worst thing in the world. And now he's adding a stable. And Villese is going for the full wall off, and Villese is still without even a barracks yet to think about sneak arches or anything. Like, I don't know, man. This is not a good position for Villese at all.
I agree. I mean, 700 wood. We mentioned it 2 minutes ago. He's going to add a market now, but normally when you are no longer full producing on water, you need to transition to that land here, and Hera's already ahead of the game. I think Hera might not even kill much with the scout. Obviously, he'll aim to, but just having the vision, I think, around the map will be huge, especially long term.
And Villese is looping to the right. He's going to run into Tiger, which is unfortunate, and he's not going to like that. There's also another Tiger on the way.
True.
And I think he took the first hit from that Tiger while still running, so if he runs into the second one, could have some problems there.
Let's see his HP here.
I'd love to see Hera with the scout. Look at the front of Villese's base here, but keep that thing alive and also scout the corners, because Villese, if you see the barracks right there, it means that he's probably trying to go up to Castle Age, which means he's probably trying for a sneak.
Yeah.
Type of play.
Yeah, I just... The barracks being so reactive is very weird to me for a player who should recognize the second you lose water, Hera's going to go land. Hera having a field day here. I mean, this has not been a big test for him. It all snowballed from the early fire galleys. And we have Horse Collar now for Villese, as he's probably going to be going for some farms. And for Hera, He has not done that, but usually you can get away with delaying that when you've got a few fishing ships. And both players with the market, we will see this go towards Castle Age. Obviously, Hera full control right now. By the way, no clue what that villager's doing. The villager's now going to move again. And you're right.
Yep.
With 18 HP, this villager would die to that tiger, and it would have to be quick-walled.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she goes around the other side. Okay.
Dude, look at this, though. These fire ships are going to take out the barracks now. He built the barracks too close to the shoreline. And so he can make one spearman from that thing.
And it's still open. It's still open at the back. He's got one spearman, but we know Hera was scouts.
Yeah, what a disappointing start for Villese. I expected so much better from him, but
there is potential. Hera is wide open on the right side. He feels like he has full control because the scouts are forward. If Villese goes for a sneak over here with some archer ranges, maybe there's gonna be, and it's a. Ooh, okay. So he's going to play knights with Britons, and Hera is playing wide open right now. If he builds up like 3 or 4 knights and manages to defend at home, he could kill a lot of villagers if Hera isn't paying attention.
really enjoy how Hera added more fishing ships. It feels like he didn't overcommit to water. He recognized that he had control and then immediately added the fish. This is now where you're normally going to see Horse Scholar come in for all future farms. But yeah, Dave, he's microing with these scouts. He did just lose one. And you can't blame him for that, right? Going for villager kills. But at the same time, he will not see this push on the right. And I don't know how much oomph is going to be there. I don't know how much power is going to be there because Villese doesn't have the resources to make that many knights. But if that's open, if that's open, could be a big problem for Hera.
Okay, so for Hera, you have to be thinking, and I think he's run this through in his mind. You know, I have full water control. I've added a few fish. I have good food eco. I have scouts in his base, and I see absolutely nothing.
Yep.
Which means that he's coming for it, and Villese has revealed himself.
He's just making a house there.
Yeah.
But to be honest,
lose that build? That's the weak build from before?
It's the weak villager.
Revenge.
And Villese is going to add a scout here, Dave. So now Hera knows something's
got the armor.
Up.
He's got the armor, Tristan.
This. Also, that villager being in there could be really annoying. If I'm Villese, I honestly run through the TC. I'd probably try and run past here.
Yeah.
Does Hera know the Vil snuck through, though? I think he does, right?
Yep, and now Villese is going to lose the scout. Nope, scout has the armor, and the Vil has managed to wall themselves in, and there's a TC and defense over there from Hera, and that villager doesn't have much of a chance, and Hera even sending the scout back. Hera doesn't have any upgrades other than bloodlines for that scout, and the knights are on the way here for Villese.
Okay, well, villager hasn't been killed, so far not so good for Villese. I do like how he recognized he was behind, is going to try something different here. I do not understand showing yourself with the villager, though. Normally, this type of push, you have a monastery, you have a siege workshop.
I think if you're going to go for a sneak knight push, you need to build up, like, 3 knights, at least.
Yeah.
And then send them into the woodline. It needs to be a momentum play, especially when you're so far behind economically. And Hera, with those extra fish, the extra food, affords 3 town centers and a monastery. He's fully walled, and Villese is sitting at home with 2 TCs just thinking, oh, God, what do I do?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing's kind of ruined, right? Because it's not just the knights. It's surprising them with the knights, and then being one step ahead of them, already having monks, already having some siege.
Eco upgrades for Villese, though. Look at Hera's eco upgrades. Oh, I guess he's getting Horse Scholar.
Yeah, catching up on that. That's the one thing we could probably be critical of Hera of here. But he's got control, Dave. You know, those knights running around, they will probably not snipe many villagers. The fishing ships have helped him a lot. And good news for Villese would be that he's got the 3 TCs going up as well. But not having water control, not being able to deny relics, there's a lot of negatives here for him. Great start to the series for Hera. We've said that a lot. We've said that a lot.
This is Hera's game to lose here.
Yeah, for sure. And just, you know, it's tough because when I watch Villese play, typically I don't question his decisions a lot. So it brings me back to, well, is this because Villese is playing bad? Or is it because Hera's playing good? I think it's a combination of both right now. I think some small things.
This feels like a first game of the day kind of vibes for Villese. Like the
water
water didn't work out at the beginning, and he's just been kind of lost from that point forward. The stable forward is kind of an indicator of that. The fact that he sent the villager in, he was looking for damage. It wasn't there to be found. Like, he knows better than that. He's been playing with Max for so many years. He knows better than to send a forward villager in with only one scout to back it up.
Yep.
Like, but I don't know. Maybe he can pull it back. His economy is pretty clean. It's only at 35 seconds of idle TC time. He's got the eco upgrades, adding farms. He's on stone right now. So maybe he feels like at this point in the game, he's going to get a good eco rolling, and he's going to rely on the Britain's late game to pull him through.
Love that. Villese using the scout, snipes Hera's monk right next to his stable, and was keeping a close eye on the relic on the left shoreline. And yeah, I mean, it hasn't been your start. Yes, Hera should have a big lead from here and close out the game, but going for the 4 TCs is probably the play, and just get as much eco as possible and hope Hera doesn't make the right decisions.
The tiger on the night.
Tiger on the night? I don't even know. Okay. On the left side?
It was just a very weird situation. The knight sitting on Vilese's mining camp at the back of his base. The tiger
I got
chased him all the way over there.
Yeah, I was looking for the tigers. I see what you mean now.
It's a very strange. You know what I'm looking at most of the time. So.
Well, Hera's kind of done with his whole stable. I am curious, though, because Villese isn't giving up on it. He's brought a scout over, and he also could get a conversion. I mean, he has to decide on if he wants to try and run away with that relic or get a conversion here. But he could do both. And actually, he gets the conversion. He will lose his monk, but still having some map presence on the side is nice.
And there's another monk from Hera, and there's a scout from Villese. He's trying to kill the scout now, and he gets him.
Yeah. And this should be a conversion back. And so in the end, very similar trades. Hera with only one relic. I expected him to have a few more at this point, but also I'm not sure if having the relics is really the most important thing in the long run when up against the Britons. I'm only thinking about the skirmishers.
Okay. Villese is going to need a death ball, and that's the only way he wins this, because Hera is currently scouting every corner of the map right now. He's got armies on both sides. He's going to spot that monk on the left side. I think those units are patrolling. Has full control over the water. Going to be really tough for Villese to redock without a defensive castle to protect it. And yeah, the Britons are just going to have to show what they can do late game against Lithuanians. The ecos aren't that different. It's definitely a lead for Hera.
I think it's just position,
but it's not
too,
like
right?
overwhelming. Yeah, it's positioning.
Yeah, having the potential to switch more onto water if you need to, get the upgrades. Nice snipes here from Villese. Lots of monks have died this game. Just having that option is always so nice. And later on, I could see Hera maybe even going for something like Galleon. Or even just a few galleys to range the shoreline a bit more. He's already been able to push away a couple monks, but for now, it just seems like he wants to save his resources and go up to Imp. He is adding stables.
Oh, God.
He's just now adding a blacksmith. Like, that tells you how easy this game has been. He's just now adding a blacksmith in the middle.
Yep. Villese has been contesting the relics the whole time. You can see the one in the water that has been slowly, painstakingly moved over from the right side.
Yep.
You can't see the one to the northeast of his base, though.
Yeah, you gotta
so he doesn't know about that.
Does Hera know about that? Hera also doesn't. So maybe we can consider that to be a freebie. Also, shout out to Hera for destroying these red palisades in his base. Because as a caster, that is so annoying. And I always have to look back and double check any red dots that would be there. And I guess it's the same for him, too.
It's annoying as a player.
Yeah, he's like, this is just distracting me. It's making me think that he has something in my base. So let's just get rid of it.
I mean, he could have just garrisoned in the TC and shot that like 3 times.
Yeah, true.
But...
But no, very rarely do you see players do that. I like the fact Hera's doing it. And wow, imp times are very similar. And
so
still unsure in
the...
Yeah.
Halberdier, castle, and maybe water for Villese? Because I don't see any archer ranges, and I can't see him banking on a massive like 40 longbows. It's going to take a long time to build up. So I think he's going to use the monks to place a castle, and then maybe docks with halberdiers. The halberdiers will get extra damage against the ships. They'll do well against the knights. But that castle is way too far forward. I think you need to make it back, my friend.
This is a lot of knights.
Yeah.
Are we surprised Hera's adding knights here? I mean, he can do it. But he has to expect halb. He knows there's monks, and he doesn't seem to care right now.
I think he was expecting... He might have been thinking Villese would come forward with a big, massive Arbalest.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he could kill the numbers before they got involved. But the knights are in the back here, and Villese's not responding to that. And that's going to be I mean, that's just going to be a lot of dead villagers and a lot of pain for Villese.
He doesn't have the numbers yet. Hera also will confirm if he thought it was going to be pikemen, that it will be pikemen. And Hera knows how strong knights can be with upgrades. That said, doesn't have that many upgrades. So the attack's there. I guess he's seeing that the TC doesn't even have fletching. That's a really big deal here. And normally knights would be going down if they didn't have the armor. Yep, no fletching, and Hera's just destroying. It's kind of what we expected here, Dave. For Villese, he's got 1,500 stone. He'll try and place a castle, but that's not the castle he would really have wanted. And Hera, while he will lose a lot of knights, he now has a 40 Vill lead and full control of the gold. He can make more.
Yep. And 8 fishing ships, too, to back it up.
Yeah, just as we expected, I guess, ever since the early moments. Hera in a strong position. Villese still playing on, hoping that maybe Hera won't execute perfectly. But this game has been a very, very simple, easy game for the Canadian ever since maybe the 15th minute and how Villese was treating the situation.
I think you go... It's tough, right? Do you go skirmisher here with the Lithuanians? I think you want to lock down the sides and then go for some navy in the middle. Even just cannon galleons to start working away on those castles.
Hera's not clicked Cavalier yet, which is weird to me.
Yeah. He's getting the armor, and he's getting the archer armor, so maybe... Is he going hand cannons? He's getting chemistry and the archer armor, but not queuing anything else up.
Is he going elite war elephants? Look at these resources. If he was Persians, I think so. What in the...
Kind of nuts.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's ahead. I guess he's going to try Latus out, maybe for the fun of it. You have to expect that he's going to close it out from here.
I think demos would be... no, I'm not being biased here, but I think demos would be legitimately good here.
No, I agree.
Just to even get the tech and have a few in reserve.
Well, I think the problem at times for people on this type of map is they waste too much of their population on water. And the thing about demos and I guess fire ships as well is that they're very strong in low numbers. They get a lot of value. The downside, of course, for a demo is that you lose it immediately after, but I think that's worth it.
But then you get more pop space.
Yeah, exactly. And you have the resources. Still very concerned about Hera not spending resources here. This is maybe
all I'm saying,
doable.
A demo would be great here.
Yeah,
that's
it would.
all I'm saying.
No, it would. I agree with you. And, being an Imperial Age for the last 2 minutes, I think having Imp Armor would have been great.
Elite latest. Okay.
Now, Hera's doing the right thing here. He's going to raid the sides, I believe. That's where Villese is exposed. It's similar to the Nikov Tato game we saw, where if someone's pushing the mid, you can switch to the sides, but...
Villese going for stone walls. It's going to be too late.
Yeah.
It's going to be too late, and those latest will absolutely shred villagers. Elite latest, 20 attack already that ignores armor. 2 hits on the villagers to kill them. And Villese is going to have to respond to that. But he is pushing in the middle, Tristan, and this is because Hera delayed his army comp so long, but now he's got a decent amount of hand cannons. He can go into bomber cannons, and he's feeling still pretty comfortable.
Feels like Hera could have just gone Paladin and won this game.
Yeah.
Right? Like, 20 pikemen, Halb's
But
just now on the way.
If Paladin does fail, I think this is a safer pick for the long game.
Yeah, sure. But I love how diverse the comp is now. You've got Siege, you have a counter to Halbs, and then you also have the raiding unit. So his opponent's got 1 unit pretty much. There's a couple longbows, but that's not going to be enough. And yeah, Hera is, as we all expected, going to just destroy this game. And question marks for Villese. Again, they're both 6-0, so maybe for the style Villese has, he could take this into the next round and say, okay, well, I'm still going to play meta. I'm still going to do that regardless who I'm up against, but this is what I need to change. This is what Hera did differently. This is what Civ I should select.
Why is Villese getting chemistry right now? I don't understand that with Britons, but anyway, calls the GG.
Yeah.
Calls it. Hera takes that one. Very convincing ever since the forward villager shenanigans, and Villese just didn't have an answer at all. And I think his one opportunity was to surprise Hera with that sneak, and he sent the villager in.
Yeah.
Like, he kind of ruined it himself.
His scouting wasn't great, in all fairness, but I still don't think you send that villager running around. I think that villager stays next to your stable. Yeah.
Exactly. And then you can add a monastery or whatever you want over there in the castle age. You send that villager in, you're not only notifying Hera of the villager, you're also risking death from that vill, and there's no follow-up.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't even mind the scout. I thought the scout was not a bad idea. But what the villager made it so the scouts couldn't get value because Hera then knew something was up. And the villager not being alive meant he couldn't go for any follow-up building like a monastery or a siege workshop. But, there were some greater questions earlier. Hera out-executed him. And I would say that they both... this game was the least exciting Golden Swamp game we've seen so far in TTL. Just because of how it played out. And
might be the least exciting game I've seen in
TTL. Yep,
so far, yeah.
It's pretty lame. Not gonna lie, but I am excited for the next one because Villese probably thinking through Hera's weaknesses, and he said, "I'm gonna go fortified clearing." And I don't think we've been able to cast fortified clearing together yet. So it's a new fortified clearing where there's no walls on the backside. I think this could be a really sick match coming up. All right, yeah, we're in the game, and colors look good. Everything's fine. Yeah, so I'll repeat myself a little bit. But Villese singled out this map as the map that he could maybe get a win against Hera on. Hera's still undefeated in Titans League. Villese, though, he just lost one time, and that was in the previous game. Love this map. However, I have never seen the players so close together. What in the world? It's almost like the map has been put in a blender. The right side is now so much more important than the left side.
This is really good for Hera, honestly. You want to be really close to your opponent if you're playing Aztecs against Burgundians. Well, if you're just playing against Burgundians in general, I think you want to be really close to them. So this could be nice. All the relics are still pretty far away, though.
True.
And that's what they're going to be fighting over. And we can see 9 relics here. Is there 9 or 10?
It's 9 in total.
9 there.
Yeah, it'd be 5 in the
9.
middle and then 4 in the outer ring.
All right.
And then there's some extra golds and stones on the outer ring. But yeah, I'm with you. I think that the weakness of Aztecs would be the lack of mobility. Generally speaking, they tend to play into monks and some infantry in a matchup like this. And so that becomes more possible now. But also, we know that this is the case. But if Hera is playing this and pushing in his deer, he's expecting Villese to be all the way over to the west, and Villese is expecting Hera to be all the way to the north. So I don't actually know when these players are going to find out, and they might not even change their strategies much then.
I mean, there's only one more deer to push for Hera, and it looks like he's going out to find the enemy. He's going to be running a long way around. He's gone to the north.
Yep.
He's going to, 30 seconds from now, he's going to be like, where the hell is he? Oh, he loops back for another deer. Okay.
Well, in the back of your
again,
mind,
I guess.
So I don't know if Hera's played this one yet, but in the back of your mind, when you're playing this map, you do need to realize that the potential for feudal age play is there. We have seen it rarely, but what I loved from Viper when he played against Jordan was he actually picked Britons here, and he went for Drush. Went for a little Drush around the outer ring, and that would be really successful for Hera if he just knew.
Was it a 2 militia Drush?
It was actually, I forget, to be honest, but what I loved about it was he went Drush into Sneakville, and he snuck an archery range behind Jordan's walls, and ended up leading to him just controlling the game from there. And it, you control the outer ring on this map, or at least harass on the outer ring, and it gives you an opportunity to just shift into the middle. So there's lots of options, which is why I love this.
Now, Villese already has the first wood upgrade, and he's already made a house on the left side, which tells you that he thinks Hera's base is closer to that side than to the other one. And he's going to come forward now, and he's going to find the walls. Nope, never mind.
Ooh.
Might find the walls here. Sees him, and he's probably like, excuse me?
So that actually tells him enough, and Hera won't have any tells yet. So if Villese really thinks about this, he should know that the right side is more of an avenue for attack now. Hera going to make a house. I mean, we have seen so much respect for the opponents on this map. The amount of players who have not even walled in Platinum is crazy to me. Whereas in Gold, the 24 players behind the top 24, those guys are walling up everything. So that's kind of funny. But I don't know. I don't really expect Hera to wall here for some reason. And there he is with his eagle in the middle right now.
Well, I mean, what are you expecting from Burgundians early? It's paused for me.
This,
I don't know if
this could possibly be Villese messaging Robo right now and saying, is this normal?
I want to get admin confirmation
be.
My map isn't bugged, says Hera.
Okay, so let me see.
What would be bugged here?
I This is a weird generation, but I don't see this as a bug.
Secondary gold position?
No.
maybe?
Hera's
Oh,
looking
he
for his
sees
boar.
that.
Hera's looking for his boar. He can't find his boar.
Oh, it's behind the wood line.
Yeah.
Dude.
I don't know if Robo's gonna
Oh.
respond right away. Yeah, Robo said you spawned with 2 boar and 8 sheep. So Hera can't find his boar, and yeah, this is it. It's right there. And super unfortunate for him, I guess, but he's also missing the sheep there too. Probably the right thing from Hera to do there, but at the same time, Robo would probably have messaged them already if there was not a second board. But you know what? I take that back because sometimes we miss stuff. We're not perfect. So he asks, and we should just restart from here.
Not like restart the game, but like restart.
Correct. Continue, I guess, is
like
the word.
continue the game.
Yeah.
Calm down, chat. Hera doesn't have that much plot armor.
Well, we haven't started yet, which is interesting. May have given Villese an opportunity to think about it, and he's like,
What could he be missing?
Yeah.
And then you get
Also-
back and he's like, oh, never mind. It wasn't an admin re. And then that's an even bigger.
Also, am concerned that because it's been long enough now that the unpause bug is happening. So I need to get to Robo here. The unpause bug is a bug that has existed for years and has affected a lot of events. And
If you know someone that's been affected by the unpause bug, call us 1-800-DAVE and Tristan. We're your trusted community attorneys.
okay, so we're gonna have
Filing
to
a
ask
class
them.
action.
We're gonna have to ask them to restore then. So this game continues, but we're gonna have to ask them to restore. Robo's gonna contact that. Wait.
No,
Now
it's
it's
going.
working.
It's
Now it's
going.
working.
It's going.
Now it's
dude.
working.
Yeah. Just get patience, dude. Just give it a while. We're fine.
You can tell how much faith I have.
No, I was
In the
fine with that.
system,
I was
yeah.
eating my ketchup chips. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Wait, so Hera now knows. So he said, I want to get admin confirmation my map isn't bugged. Okay, sorry, go. Hera now knows that his boar is to be out there somewhere. The only area I could think of if I were him would be where it is. Because everything else is scouted flawlessly. So he...
Or your
He's not-
opponent stole it.
Oh, true. Oh, he might assume it's stolen.
Yep. If I know Hera, he's played against MBL way too many times. He'll assume this thing is gone, dusted.
Well, he
It's
is sending
done.
his eagle there, and he's going to be kicking himself for that. And I mean, I think that's a mix of being unlucky.
Yeah,
Unfortunate and maybe I think the question mark I have is why send your eagle to scout the middle before you see your second boar?
So how does this affect his boom then? He had to add farms a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
He's bringing his boar back, and that means the uptime for him might be like 1 villager later than normal, 2 villagers maybe. But he should be fine.
Yeah, I guess I'll just wait and see here because I'm not entirely sure. But Hera will now find that this is open on the right side or the south side, I guess.
For the time being.
Oh, maybe he didn't see the walls. He will continue to loop almost as if he assumes it's the normal generation. Will he see something? Yeah, he's going to see the house. So now he's like, what in the world is this?
Spots the gold. Villese sees that Hera is inside there with the eagle, and now Hera is trying to get that eagle back, maybe. Missing that eagle might actually be quite nice for Villese having that thing inside, because now Hera is going to struggle to contest the relics in the middle. So that'll not be in position to snipe those monks, but still, it's annoying to have Hera with that unit inside your base. And maybe they have like a gentleman's agreement where Villese lets him out here.
I doubt it.
That would be
I
funny if
doubt
he
it.
like deleted a wall, like be my guest. Thank you very much.
I mean, I wish players would delete the wall and then just rebuild it, just to
Yeah.
troll around a little bit more. But obviously, this is kind of an important series, so
I mean, if it was like Hera and Chris, or Hera and Slam, I could see that. Canadian politeness,
Viper Doubt was what
first.
came to mind for me. Viper doing it to Doubt just to flex a little bit, Well, okay, so what Villese is doing is he's going to hunt for that eagle. In the Dark Age, the eagle would win any fight. In the Feudal Age, the scout should win, though it does depend on hills and whatnot. And funnily enough, Hera, the player who didn't
he's
have
trapped.
Oh,
No.
was. okay. Well, Hera's FC time is going to be awesome. He hasn't walled. He will have his Eagle trapped, which does hurt his chances at maybe contesting for relics in the middle a little bit. But I don't think he's going to be too upset about this at all. Added the farms nice and early. We know he loves his farms, and he should be up much faster than Villese. Now I want to look at Villese's eco and say what happened, but then again, he's pretty close, and he did invest into those eco upgrades.
Now this is a real standoff. Villese sees Hera is up on that hill. Hera is staying on the hill. And Villese is waiting for Feudal Age, and he just goes in because it doesn't matter now.
Yeah, now can Hera... Yeah, there we go. I don't think Hera is on the hill now. It's very hard for me to tell. Oh, wait. Villese hesitated.
He is. Hera is on the hill. Ooh.
That's super annoying. Oh, Villese, don't send... He's going to send the Vil. I mean, I feel like Hera has already realized that this eagle is eventually going to die.
Yep. And that's enough damage to kill it.
All right, it works.
I think that... You know what? I think that's enough just to have peace of mind that Hera doesn't know exactly what you're up to.
Yeah, true.
And Hera can't come in and snipe a villager. I think if you're Villese, you will gladly sacrifice the auto time from that villager.
I agree. And now that I think about it, what I was initially thinking was just wait for the second scout. But he wouldn't have had that for a bit. And now he gets to scout the other side.
Yeah, and you're letting Hera know that you're making scouts, which is probably something he's going to suspect, but you don't want to confirm a strategy for your opponent unnecessarily anyway.
So when we loaded up the map, obviously people were initially talking about how weird the map gen is compared to other generations, but then we talked about how this can favor Aztecs, and then people were like, oh, the relics are even closer to Hera. He only knows about one relic on this map. One single relic. Not ideal for the Aztec player, but he's going to make an eagle, and he is going to be trying to contest for the middle, but I think that light cav play, assuming we see more scouts and eventually light cav for Villese, could be really good against that.
I'd almost like to see Villese send the first monks to the outside, grab the relics if he scouted them out there, and just contest the middle with scouts.
Yeah.
Like try and get away with the relics on the outer edge there, because you've killed Hera's eagle, and it's likely he didn't scout that area before, because he came right to your base early.
I don't think...
So if you can snag all those relics while just killing monks in the middle, I think it could be good.
I don't think Villese could have tried to miss the relics and done a better job. Look at his scouting.
Yeah, actually, oh my god, he doesn't. Oh my god, he doesn't. Dude, he threaded the needle there between these relics. What the hell?
That's crazy.
Oh my Lanta.
Well, he is going to loop so far that he will see that Hera is not walled to the edge of the map, but he will not see a relic for now, and it's a weak scout in the outer ring. He's got a scout in the middle, adds the monastery now. A little late with the scout numbers. Hera will add the TC. Villese will add the TC. This is all expected. We will see a lot of economy, but it's what the relic count will look like and then what the army comps will eventually be. That's important.
Still no light cav either. So these scouts are going to lose to the Eagles, and there's the first monk for Villese. And if only he had seen the relics on the outside, dude, I think he could have gone for that strategy, and I think it would have been a good one. You just run around with the scouts in the middle, sniping monks, and then grab the relics for free on the outside, and then you can come back.
He took a lot of hits on these scouts right now.
He did.
He took a lot of hits, and he's faster too, so that's sloppy. He might actually fall back and heal up his scouts now. But I like the sneakiness of looping the other scout around, which Hera doesn't see, and he's going to be on the hunt there.
At least, like, his scouting at the top will tell him where the relics are likely to be.
Yeah.
Because he can't.
True.
Process of elimination, you know?
Well, I like the focus on the middle because I feel like Aztecs are going to kill you. It is going to be through the middle here and not necessarily on the outer ring. Hera gets the first relic. So far, pretty even game with economy. Both players have incredible civs for booming. Light cav now is going to be a bit of an issue for Hera. So Hera hopefully will get like 2 to 3 relics, I think, minimum before he starts to go to the outer ring. Villese is not out there with anything right now. But he's going to lose his eagles here, Hera, if he's not careful.
Light cav are better in these engagements, slightly.
And then there's the hill.
And they're all healed up as well. Villese was healing those behind. Hera trying to convert a light cav, but he can heal the damage on the eagles as long as he doesn't lose the units. And now he's coming out with monks. He should be looking good here in this engagement as Villese goes out to the other side with a monk to bring in a relic. And he's going for that very far one, too, in the north.
One relic for Hera. Hera, nice job escorting his monks here. His monks do not have any upgrades yet. And so the more upgrades that come in for Aztecs, the better. You get plus 5 HP on your monks per upgrade, so that monks are very vulnerable right now. And yep, lots of hits for the Eagles, but I think that's worth it for Villese. Though, obviously, now Hera has 2 relics. But 2 relics out of 9, not a big deal at all. It's expected almost.
All right, Tristan, where's the mandatory? He should get Sanctity.
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but
Okay.
he should get Sanctity. Yeah.
Well, you did, so.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, against Lycav, it's always tricky at the end of the day. He might opt for numbers, but if you have 300 gold and you're not making a monk, you should be getting Sanctity.
Mm-hmm. Well, Loom's good, too.
Loom's good as well. But Loom tells me he might actually... I mean, okay, maybe he got housed, but that tells me he might actually leave his base with a villager. Interesting to see that
I mean,
upgrade.
he wasn't fully walled, and the Lightcav did disappear.
Ah, true.
So I guess it's
yeah, he might
it's
be
a
concerned.
safety thing, right?
Yeah.
Lightcav against villagers with Loom, there might kill a couple of them, but Lightcav with villagers with no Loom, ooh, your entire economy is dying.
Yeah, it's amazing how fast monks die when you don't have
Oh,
Sanctity.
the Lightcav!
It's amazing.
Oh, another monk! Oh my
It's
god,
amazing.
that's 3 monks now snipe. Crazy snipes there for Villese, and there's only 1 relic there, so he's got to send the monks on the other side, and there goes the Lightcav to the left to try and find the relics on that side. So it's 2-2 relics. Hera is going to get 3 from the middle. Villese has an opportunity now to snipe a bunch from the outside ring.
Yeah, now, Hera's showing me that he has no interest in the outer ring. He's not making a gate. He's just house walling up, and him being on stone already maybe thinks he wants to go eagle, forward castle, fast monk. I don't know, but he did play really well against Yo on arena, and he had the Aztecs, I think, against the Bohemians there.
Handcart from Villese. Okay.
It is cheaper, and then handcart researches very quickly, so
How
I
much
think that's
is
a
it
good move.
with Burgundians?
Wasn't it 50% off? It's 50% off the... Shoot, I forget. 150. Should be 150 food. 150 food and 200 wood. I think.
It's not bad.
Yeah, and since it researches so quickly, I think it's worth it when you have this many vills.
Mm-hmm.
You see how long wheelbarrow is, which Hera's now getting.
Soon. University is coming from him. Handcart is in. He's going to have a really tight, efficient 3 TC eco with relics generating food as well, which also helps. And Hera now getting wheelbarrow. Oh, no, never mind. He's adding a 4 TC Villese. I guess he was just banking up the res just because. And actually, I had this 4 TC and his eco is so good. He can keep it running and go up to Imperial Age at a decent time.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the 4 TC I like if you also can click up to Imp at this time. Really like how he's added house walls on that one side. He does need to maybe think about stone walls.
Handcartville is going to make it there faster. I think it saved him, Tristan. I honestly think Handcart saved him.
Worth it.
Those Eagles were coming.
Lycav are going to return the favor at Hera's base. Hera did make a Palisade Gate, so that shows he might leave. Well, he already did, obviously, with the Eagles.
Villese, at some point, you need to find these relics. Okay, he's scouted it now. Good. He's going for the
far ones.
Wow, he's getting greedy with that. He's not taking the one in the corner. He's going to go for the far ones first, and his Lightcav are now going after that monk because he knows the location of the Eagles on his wall. He can come out there for those.
Okay, so here's a question. Oh my god, these Lycav, what are they? Getting stuck, man. They'll still kill the monk.
Yeah, they're still going to get the monk and get away.
But we talked monk upgrades, Sanctity, obviously.
Yep.
High-level players never get fervor. You're running a long way. Is it worth it to research fervor for the monk speed if you're Villese right now?
15% extra speed on a slow unit. I mean, 15% of a negligible number is not that much.
Okay, I'm just curious. Like, that's something I would do, but
if I'm Aztecs, I'd do it.
Yeah, because Aztecs, you also get
HP.
the HP as well. Yeah. Okay, I was just curious. I mean, I don't know if there's a huge right or wrong answer there, but he's certainly not spending his gold right now, so I'm going to say it'd be worth it. Either way, he's going to get those relics back home, and he clearly expects that Hera is going to be offensive because he placed his castle really far back, and I love that.
Okay, so Hera is going archer ranges here. Do we see Atlatl skirms?
I think we do. He went
Is that
skirm.
the solution to Burgundians?
He went skirm monk against Oh my God.
And look,
Okay.
Villese-
Hey. Look in the north. If he had fervor, imagine how far away that monk would be. Just saying. Okay, he's
Yeah, it would
not going to
probably
lose
be
it
like
anyways.
it would probably be like near the deer right now.
Hey, 15% is 15%, okay?
I mean, he might lose it now. Eagles are a coming.
Yeah. He is going to also try and get walls up, which may or may not complete. There's another monk in that corner. And Hera, I think, is confused on what Villese is going for. He doesn't see anything with those eagles.
Move it, monk. We need you to go faster.
Nope. Okay, monk's going to die. Obviously still good for the Finnish pro. He's going to have plenty of relics, but Hera has 3. And I think we will see a little skirm, Dave. So let's see. You go skirms, Burgundians will go for cav. If they go cav, you can go monks and pikes.
I think this is a Flemish militia play.
You do?
Flemish revolution play.
Like, that's his primary strategy, or just like as a follow-up?
I think once you see the skirms.
Maybe.
Wait, because he's dropping archer ranges. He's thinking about what? Hand cannon
Hand
here?
cannons, I think.
Skirmisher for himself?
That's
going to be completely destroyed by the... and with Flemish militia, it's not like Arena where you have to focus on only the walls. You can send them around the edge, and he's actually trying to he's killing villagers from Hera right now, trying to wall up. You can send him around the edge and start harassing that area too.
Well, he saw the eagles earlier and just assumed it would be eagle opening, but Hera said nope. But on the bright side, because of Hera's trap and that outpost, the archer range, the skirmishers are all seen there, so I think he should know.
Villese needs to evac the monastery now.
Oh, true. Oh, yeah, that's a big deal here.
Yeah.
If there's any concern that you're going to lose those relics, he actually has a monastery in the back, so I think he will do that.
Well, he's bringing that relic back right now.
Yeah, maybe he just added the new monastery and he had already commanded that monk to come back. Well, Hera completes at Lattle, so he has 3 + 5 plus also additional range.
Hera started working on another wall before he was in through the first one. And Villese gets the re-wall behind that. It's going to buy him some time.
Also,
valuable.
We are going to have a mix of hand cannons and also the cav. So now this is looking a lot better. The cav is something Hera doesn't really have an answer to just yet.
Yep.
He went full skirm against the Bohemians, and the Bohemian player didn't have good cav. But you've got to know Burgundians have that, and I'm surprised that Hera isn't making any more monks. I'm surprised he isn't thinking of anything other than just skirmishers right now.
Oh, he's getting another barracks down. He might get both unique techs. We'll see pikemen coming in here. Garland Wars with those pikemen would be nice. But Castilier with the charge damage are going to rip through them.
Yeah.
At least on the first charge. And we'll see where it goes after that. Hera adding another castle in the middle. But securing that middle area, I mean, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's some wood lines, and that's it.
He's really wondering what else is going to be made here, because he sees one stable. He doesn't see anything else, and this might actually force a bit of a reaction. And now Hera will see that thing. He should know that he could have trouble. But you want the Bustier to go against the skirms, and then the hand cannons can mop everything else. And yeah, here he comes. Hera's skirms need to run away here.
This thing's, like, even without the charges attack, this thing is a decent unit in and of
so
itself.
cheap. Yeah.
It's basically like a Tarkin with a little bit less pierce armor, essentially, and a charge attack. I think a little bit less HP, but 11 base attack is not bad at all.
With the Burgundian economy behind it, and all the other bonuses that the Burgundians have, it is strong. And Hera falling back with skirms. They're beefy skirms, but he's not going to complete his castle. And behind this, we have the trebuchets coming already for Villese. So Villese is going to try and push him back. And Hera, he just now is pikeman. He just doesn't seem to have any clue what unit he can make right now.
Yep. Arson coming in. Infantry armor coming in. Castilier in the back of his base killing villagers. Hera doesn't notice that yet.
Oh, man.
That's actually a big raid there from Villese.
Dave.
Wow.
Villese will have quite a few relics once he, gets them back in the monastery. And I love how he had the trebs already. Like, he didn't wait too long. He's got 3 trebs here. As long as he continues to send those cavalry to the front, I think he's going to be able to take out this castle. And he's dropping another castle behind, so he clearly thinks that's a possibility. Hera doesn't have Garland Wars. Hera doesn't have full armor. Hera is missing so much.
we do have to recognize that these skirms are ridiculous for what they are.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're going to be sniping down the hand cannons, but look at the amount of units from Villese here. The Castilier ripping through everything. Hera did not make the pikeman switch early enough, and he's just calling GG, and Villese with the Castilier switch is something apparently Hera didn't expect. He was thinking hand cannons. He was thinking trebs. He wasn't thinking about the next step from Villese.
And the raid in the back of Hera's base was such a great move. There's so many other things he had to do there. He was able to get that final relic over to his base. Sadly, it doesn't show in the relic count because he didn't get them all, but that was good. And yeah, he was patient, Dave. I think my favorite play in that whole game for Villese was the first castle. Because I would always place the castle near the front and then tell myself, okay, we have to brace for a push. But he knew he could expand to the backside. He didn't want to give Hera a target. And yeah, a questionable army comp from Hera, but also maybe just questionable preparation for this type of map because he hasn't played it yet. And the last time he played Arena, Aztecs worked wonders for him.
I think it was weird that Hera went to the south with the Eagles and didn't contest the relics in the north.
Yeah.
That like mid castle age area after all the relics from the middle were taken. Like, why go to the wall in the south? Especially after you see it's like a palisade walled there. I don't know.
Yeah, Hera was, someone just said, this is perfect explanation probably. Hera was playing Arena on Fortified Clearing, right? He was playing Arena, obviously had to do a little bit of extra work, but I think also the civilization choice, we haven't seen Aztecs on this map for a reason. Civs like Turks, civs like Poles, civs like Burgundians, they have a bit more mobility. I think those are probably better choices for him, and he'll learn from that.
Apparently, he didn't know there was relics on the side on this map.
Okay, well, I mean, that there you go.
Explains it.
I mean, like,
Yeah,
that's a
everything.
very basic thing, yeah. So,
yeah.
So he'll know for next time, and scores 1-1. So both players are 6-1 now in their group. Evens it up at the top, and we'll see who will be first in the group after this next game, which should be on Hera's home map, which I believe is Arabia. All right, so, wow, very different bases at first glance off the minimap.
Yeah.
The front of Hera's base is just wide open. Honestly, though, the gold position and the berry
I don't mind
position,
his face.
yeah, not
I don't
bad.
mind it at all.
Not bad
as
at all.
long as he can lock that down somehow. The problem is that the left side is open too.
Yeah.
So there's nowhere to really drag that wall to that surrounds the gold, but he should be okay. The back wood line is super nice. The wood line on the right side is nice and thick, and it's beautiful as well. And meanwhile, Villese, forward gold, but the stone is back, and I don't mind his base either. It's got tons of options.
Yeah,
There is like wall off potential across the middle of the entire map on that ridge line if someone gets a good position.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the difference here. Hera will be forced to play more open, but his gold and his berries are probably a bit more defendable. And then Mayans love their walls, so Villese is going to like that. Bit more of a standard base here. Boar's also on the back, which is nice.
Coming forward to lame.
Yeah. He did steal 2 sheep already. And Hera has had the scout forward here. Robo, by the way, says not looking at the maps is inexcusable, in case you wanted an admin's opinion.
Wow.
I'm shocked he has that opinion, to be honest. I thought that he would think that that's okay.
If this was a Nilly tournament, I mean, Hera would have already been tossed.
Would he toss someone for that? Maybe he would say what I said when Miguel made that comment about the walls, and he would say, okay, he deserves to lose. That would be the Nilly comment.
He deserves to lose.
Yeah. All right, well, the laming has stopped, fortunately for Hera. He will be down 200 food, but he did recover a little bit. I think he's just realized that, too. He came down to the south to check. He's got pretty good scouting now, so he probably would be safe to assume that the Eagles stole something. Again, talking about the matchup, I think the first thing we should address, as the food has been stolen, is Chinese can struggle a bit more if they do not have all their food, just simply due to starting with 0 of it. But I like the Chinese more in early feudal. I even like the Chinese a bit more in early castle because they have the knights and the skirms and the archers. They have a better tech tree. But I think if this gets to an elite eagle switch with Halbs, then Chinese have to make a full crazy switch into like champion, Chukanu. That's where this will get difficult.
Yeah. I mean, Mayans have the tools, and this is a similar matchup to like Aztecs versus Chinese. But I think the thing that I like about Aztecs more against Chinese is you're more likely to go for that Castle Age all in than you are with Mayans.
I agree.
Mayans, it
Yeah.
feels like sometimes in this matchup you get stuck and you're thinking, well, my imp composition is okay against him, so maybe I can take it late game. But in reality, a lot of the times the Mayans are winning this matchup when they're equal eco in Castle Age. And they're pushing with Eagles or something, and Chinese are trying to get the momentum, trying to build up Knights or something like that.
You know, Hera might have done this regardless. This is very common for him. But we could argue that maybe he stayed at home pushing in all of his deer because he lost those 2 sheep. And right now he does not have scouting on where his opponent is, what his opponent's strategy is. And there's a chance he could miss the militia coming forward. Normally, like for a player like this, they're just somehow going to run right into it. And that never happens to anyone else. Yeah, you're just going to run right into it. Because, yeah, that's fair. But, you know, that is something that Villese is going to show him. And Hera didn't know until just now. Villese I think just trying to give himself a little bit of time to wall here, Dave. And why not? With this map and this civ, you definitely want to get the walls down.
I mean, Hera was going to save all the vills anyway. It is very unlikely that Villese was going to get anything here. So he's going to know about the Drush. He's going to be preparing for the Drush, trying to trap that Eagle in with a nice little gate there. Doesn't work. And Villese is still at the rear of Hera's base. But Hera has plenty of time to respond to this. Even if he didn't see that Drush at the beginning, he still would have probably defended against it just fine.
Yeah, and I like the strategy choice for Villese, regardless if he does damage or not, because Chinese never go for this strategy. They never stay in Dark Age. They always rush to Feudal, and they very rarely can even go Man-at-Arms. So this is just annoying Hera, making Hera work, even if he does it flawlessly, making him work hard while he can just wall up and stay safe, and he can protect himself.
Not even any, like, preemptive walls or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't respect the 2 militia Drush, man. No respect.
It could kill a villager, though, because the Eagle's there. Like, the Eagle is the key. Having an Eagle is a lot more helpful than having a Scout, if you were to compare it. And, yeah, no respect, but Villese also not thinking that he can dive and get any damage in here against Hera.
And behind this is what the 2 militia Drush enables. The full wall off. There is a hole on the left side.
Yeah, that could be a bad one,
hasn't noticed yet, but Villese is the type of player, once he gets the full walls down on the other side, to click a villager out and see if there is indeed a hole. And the villager pathing that way will tell him exactly where the hole is as he continues to harass, and he's being very, very annoying. But Hera hasn't even lost that much idle time to this. He just baits him out to attack, pulls him back. Still, I think a few little walls around the lumber camp would
Hera going
be
for
more comfortable.
Hera going for an interesting play. He doesn't know what Villese is doing, but he can assume that Villese is likely walling and delaying whatever is going to come next. So he opened barracks, and then he said, you know what? Let's just rush my eco upgrades and rush a bunch of farms. And I love this move from Hera. I also love the confidence to just not wall at all. I mean, Villese, he knows he won't be able to do much. And you're right, the wall was placed. I don't know if you mentioned that, sorry. But Hera has to be careful that he doesn't get overwhelmed if Villese is in Feudal soon. If he sees Villese is in Feudal, then I could see Hera adding an archer range, because that would be the expected follow-up.
I wonder if Hera just like plays no military up the Castle Age here, because he assumes what Villese is doing. There's still no archer range, no stable, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, so you can have an 18-minute castle time with what Hera's doing. It is not hard with the Chinese to have an 18-minute castle time. The problem is if there's an archer range and military comes out, then you have problems. And he continues to add farms here. So I think he's being potentially a little bit too greedy.
He's going to go for a big wall on the left, 1 archer range defense probably.
Yeah.
But like you're going to have no archer mass, and he's finally committing against the Eagles and the 2 militia Drush. You got to respect it, because it's going to kill a villager here.
There you go, worth it.
Yep.
So Hera saw the Drush, came home ever since. Has just been inviting pressure, as we know he can do. But I like the Finn's position right now. I love the addition of the Spearman as well. And honestly, you don't even need to go heavy investment here. You know Hera's got a sick eco. Just go like 2 archers, 1 Spearman. Try and get some damage in with as little as possible.
Dude, like, how can you play like this in a tournament game against Villese? You're taking a huge risk if you're Hera playing like this. I mean, it seems like he's comfortable, and if Villese doesn't go for some big pressure here, then it'll probably pay off. And it probably is going to pay off because Villese is just going for the big walls. But Hera had no vision on that. Whatsoever.
This is the timing might just be perfect here for him. Actually, he's gonna have a blacksmith. If he starts to make a skirm right now,
Tristan,
it's gonna be fine.
And I hate it. Yeah. It's gonna work, because it shouldn't work. You can assume what your opponent is doing, right? Based on previous times you've played them and previous matchups like this that you've played in the past, but you can't 100% be sure.
Yeah.
At best, you're like 60% sure that they're doing something like this.
Think of the player he's up against, right? We talked in game 1 about how Villese had Britons and Viper done all this different non-meta stuff with Britons that I think is good. You don't have to go water. He plays the meta always. So both these players always play the meta. So Hera, as he needs to try and save this villager here, and he will save it, but there's more. He just felt like he knew what this guy was going to do, and I think that's why it's been so predictable. It's just because of the player he's up against. I doubt Hera would ever play like this if he's up against MBL, for example.
No.
MBL, or I could list a couple other names that just will not play quite to this style. That would terrify him a little bit more. But he's got enough army to force this away, Dave. And he will have a sub 18-minute castle time into ranged units. Beautiful, beautiful play from him so far.
It worked. Kids, don't do this at home.
Yeah, I will have these moments where I say, you know what? I think I'm focusing on walling too much. I'm going to play open and play into some eco and let those wallers struggle with their economies. And then I try this, and then I just get hit on my gold and lose 3 vills, and then I fall behind. And it's just like crazy stuff. Well, by the way, Hera's scout is, I guess it's not fully trapped because it got in through the hole where the deer's being brought in, but it is in there right now.
Imagine if Villese adds that archer range before he starts on the other walls. Instead of having 5 archers here, he probably has 10 archers here.
Yeah, if he plays
Hera,
if he plays
completely
open,
dead.
Yeah, if he plays open, Hera's dead because then he's up faster. But we'll see how Hera chooses to play this. I don't expect Hera to be able to be killing Villese or anything as he loses his scout. And it would be really important now for Villese, who clicks up, just to get that archer mass going. He's got 1 range. Would love to see a 2nd range. But man, Hera does have an army with skirms in it right now, and micro is needed because he might not get away from here. So far, so good, I guess.
Now, Villese is fully walled. Hera now going for the university, and he's going to be able to wall, maybe even to that wood line, to the edge of the map and fully secure his back goal. But look at the other golds, Tristan. Still on the outside, still far on the outside. It's very, very open. And Villese now going for house walls behind that palisade. Wants to make sure he's doubly safe. There is he's still a minute and a half away from Castle Age, and he will have a decent army count. He will be safe, and we're going to play into Mayans against Chinese in mid-Castle Age. Who do you think wins mid-Castle Age?
Well, we're seeing the strength of the Chinese right now, right? All their cheaper techs, the ability to get ballistics faster is going to be massive for Hera. I think Chinese are the better mid-Castle Age civilization. I think late Castle Age is where the Mayans start to creep in. But Hera knows that the only way that he could struggle is possibly due to archer numbers from the Mayans, so he's just going for it. And he's also going with the Siege Workshop, too. He knows the golds are on the outside. The other gold is right behind this range. I like the decision, but he does need to be careful at home right now.
The archers are looping around, and Villese is wisely waiting until he's got crossbow bodkin in, so he can come in and snipe those skirms and maybe provide a little bit of harassment on that wood line. Hera thinks he's safe.
Oh, Hera just tried to tree. He just tried to tree hop. He tried to tree hop. He chopped the tree and deleted it.
Siege Workshop. I saw the villager coming forward. I didn't even assume that, but Villese was right on top of that apparently.
Dang, man. I mean, you don't see that every day, and that was great play all around because Villese could have died right there. But now, I mean, that's still a problem, right? If it was just houses and walls, I don't think this would be an issue. I love how he's waiting until he has crossbow at Hera's base, but I also love how Hera just put the skirms there. We'll see if he notices and if he takes damage, and if Villese takes this as an opportunity to hop out. Villese losing a Vill on the front, but he's trying to kill a Vill at Hera's base. Hera's got 1 lumber camp, one mining camp. He doesn't have a ton of eco just yet, so this does disrupt his economy. It's a great game. Like, if you are someone who really appreciates the high-level civilizations, the high-level meta, and how to counter the pros and cons of every civilization, this is a great game so far. I think Hera needs to be careful on the front because he has, I guess he has 11 crossbows. Villese is probably counting right now, but Hera's probably not expecting there to be that many in there, and he could get surprised here shortly.
Got 11 crossbows. Villese has 10 now. And this last one will make 11. And there's the siege workshop right there. Villese will have to ungarrison to the side. Maybe he could even bait the crossbow shots with the villager and ungarrison at the same time. But it looks like Hera's paying attention again. As Villese goes for a TC now on the right side. That's going to be his third TC of the game.
There's 11. Looks like Villese wasn't doing the counting. And Hera has ballistics. So Hera kills a Vill there. Do you think Hera did the counting there? As he might break through. Well, this is looking a little nasty now for Villese. He has to drop a university there. All these buildings just to protect himself as he waits for the siege.
He has to wonder why they keep popping out of that.
Yeah,
you know, they were safe inside for so long, and now they're popping out. Could it potentially be full? Doesn't matter at the moment. I mean, he's just holding this forward pressure. I don't think he really wants to back it up with anything. He's trying to see how much value he can get from it, and he almost gets another villager. The Mangonel is there, and Villese will have the ability to pop out here with his crossbows pretty soon. Hera, 3 TC behind this as well, and he's got that TC up on the secondary gold there, and he probably wants to go to stone pretty soon to get a castle to secure this hill, because I think that hill's going to be very important.
This is such a great Arabia game. The economies for both are flowing and borderline perfect for what you would want. The damage control from both has been amazing. Hera could have so easily struggled playing open like that, and then he put himself in a winning position. And then Villese could have died 3 separate times here on this gold. And not only has he defended himself, Dave, but he also got a TC up on the other gold, on the other side, which I think was crucial and kind of risky at the time. But I think it's going to be Plumes for the Finnish pro. He's got 400 stone right now. Lots of gold in the bank. He actually brings his crossbows behind his walls. So, yeah, he just doesn't want to move out at all right now. Even making an outpost on the left. Just wondering where Hera might go with those crossbows.
I think Plumes is correct. Like, what else would it be? Okay, he sees the crossbows. Villese, you even got Town Watch. Villese.
Ooh, man. That's a late reaction. Hera, happy with this now. Has killed 4 villagers. And he can always run away from the siege. Hera can do some crazy things with control here. So I imagine his eco is flying as well. And he's got the crossbows on the other side. And that was open temporarily. Villese has to come back in because he knows Hera has ballistics and he does not. Another Vill goes down.
Good poke damage here from Hera. Really, really good poke damage. And he's controlling the map with his army, and he's slowly walling up behind. Getting handcart now, so his economy is going to be super efficient. Still hasn't gone onto stone yet, but he does have a lot of gold in the bank, and he's got 24 on food now, so it's a few minutes until he starts transitioning into Imperial Age, and Villese actually going to be there first, and he's going to have a castle up too. I just wonder, does the castle go in front of that secondary gold? Can you get that down? Is it going to be safe? You only have those 10 crossbows, 2 mangonels.
Yeah. I think he places a very safe castle next to the TC he already has.
Yeah.
Ooh, there, okay. Not actually in love with that castle because I think he could still lose access to the gold. But I do like how he's swinging the siege over to the right, and Hera runs away from the shot. But Dave, I actually don't think it will be Plumes anymore. I actually think this could be an Eagle opening. When you have the castle up and there's the barracks now, you can always research El Dorado and Imp. Hera's got a lot of crossbows to work with.
I mean, Villese has so much gold in the bank too. 1,200 gold.
Yep.
It's enough to get the text. Not enough to keep spamming, but you will get back to your main gold once that castle is up. And now it's kind of defended, and eventually you're going to push out, take out those crossbows, and get access to the secondary there. Hera is looking towards Imperial Age, but Villese has already clicked up, and Hera is now going for Monastery, so he wants to pick up the relics, and we're going to see the long game here.
Do you think that Hera was too late with the siege? Because he has it now, and I just don't know if it really suits the situation anymore. He does get hit.
That Mangonel might just be an anti-castle forward Mangonel.
Maybe, yeah. Well, I mean, also that this is where it gets tough, right? Because he had so many farms, and a player like him will not want to spend any wood on siege, even just a siege workshop when he can opt for a few more farms. We'll see if he expects this, Dave, because if he expects it, Chinese do get great champions. They don't get supplies like some other civs do, but Hera is a player who loves his light cav.
Hera. This Mangonel's taking all day, and it still gets the shot, dude. It took all day. It went around the tree. It took a coffee break. It still got the shot.
And that is, I don't know, is that only him? Like, I've seen the clip of him losing 15 skirms, trolling into a house as well. I never see units stack like that.
Over the last patch, units have started stacking on top of each other.
Maybe
the last
it's a
like
new
2
thing.
months.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed it a bunch of times. Like, you'll grab a pikeman and a monk, and they'll be inside each other.
Yeah, also the bug where the monks can stand inside of a relic is back. So
Okay.
So maybe that's part
they
of
did
it.
something. And
Yeah.
that probably has to do with pathfinding, honestly. Because they keep trying to improve it, and there's always unintentional stuff
sure.
going on. I don't mind it. I like unit stacking.
Well, no, I you know, it's just really bad when you get hit in the face with siege, you know? So, and speaking of, Hera gets hit again. He should split away from
not
that
getting
shot.
hit in the face with siege?
Yeah. What's the comp? Hera's adding stables. This is a very Hera thing to go light cav. Many players might consider this to be a bit of a mistake if you know it's going to be Eagles from the Mayans, but it's not like light cav is a bad meat shield. It's not like Hera's not protecting himself on the right with a lot of house walls. Would love to see some stone walls through the choke point on the left side between the wood lines. And this is the moment where the Mayans can dominate, but I think you want to get some raids in with the Eagles, and it's looking very difficult for Villese to do that.
No El Dorado research either. He spent all the gold on producing the Eagles.
Yep.
So he's got enough for another castle soon. Hera is still 10 seconds away from Imp, but the castle from him will go up in the defensive location. And Villese going for a castle on the other side of that hill.
Okay, so the scouting is going to be crucial. Hera sees the gold on the left side, and Villese does not. And also remember, the golds are very exposed for Villese through the middle. So if Hera can just defend from this, he could just kind of starve out his opponent from golds, who's just now got a lead eagle, just now has final armor. But when you go up to Imp like that early, your eco does struggle a little bit. 90 villagers for Villese. It's 107 for Hera. And he's actually going to go Cavalier. And I like Cavalier a lot more than Light Cav anyways.
Cavalier's got a time window on it, though.
Yeah, if Halbs come out, it could be a problem. I guess that's why he's
also you
making sure his
gotta
archers are
secure
alive.
that secondary gold outside of your base. You had the one
Mm-hmm.
with the TC. You have the relics coming in. There's still some on your main, but that secondary is way out there. He's going for a castle in a great position to help against that. Arson is now in for the Eagles, but they're not going to be able to bust through in time before the crossbows come over here.
Yeah, I mean, again, very similar to even what we said in Dark Age and Feudal. Hera just seems to be on top of it. The Cavalier will arrive. These Eagles still don't have El Dorado, and Villese is trying to just find ways to do damage. And now I think he's going to opt to try and treb up that hill. And I don't see that being so easy. I know Hera's castle isn't exactly on top of the hill, but if Hera has Cavalier...
If you're going to treb up the hill, and Hera's going for an outpost here, too. It must be said, Villese's second gold is at the front there as well. But if you're going to treb up the hill, I think you need to arrive with, like, 4 trebs at the same time. And, ooh, Villese has found a way in.
Ah, there it is. That was the area. Hera had just placed some stone walls there. And so finally, Hera takes some damage to these raids. And this should, in theory, distract him from sending army to the front. Do you make any type of switch if you're Villese, or do you just go all in Eagles here, Dave?
El Dorado. Well, I think that answers your question
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
true.
El Dorado, and I think the raids in the back are great because that's going to pull the Cavalier and maybe even the crossbows back there. Hera still isn't pulling his army back, and he's losing so many vills. What's going on, Hera?
Well,
he sends the Cavalier forward.
Oh, man, it's interesting because the Cavalier are, like, in the Eagles right now.
Yep.
And I guess Hera didn't want to pull the Cavalier because he didn't want to lose control of the front, but you have to. That's the thing. You have to. So many idols, so many villagers going down, and now so many Eagles with El Dorado on the front.
It's pulling like 4 Cavalier.
Oh my God, that shot.
deal with
Holy
that.
crap. That shot was right before El Dorado, Dave. So a lot of those Eagles lost a third of their HP before El Dorado clicks. That's a bad fight for Villese. Wow.
Yep. He's going to have to heal these up. Maybe even herbal medicine here.
Yeah,
for the
Hera will
Eagles to
eventually
get him
clear
inside
the
the
Eagles.
castle. And Hera has a force, and he's attacking from the right side. He's going to have a treb up on that hill, and Villese is going to have to respond to that. And the raids are being cleared up at the back, and Hera is still ahead on villagers. It's only 2 right now,
Hera's got
but it's still a lead.
Hera's got 4 relics. He's stonewalling the areas he knows he's vulnerable, and he has 30 Cavalier against 32 Eagles. I know El Dorado is strong, but I don't see how Villese could push these trebs right now. That is just too many Cavalier. And Hera's got good gold control as well.
Yep. Blast Furnace coming for Villese. Why not put the Eagles in the cat? Just put them in there. Heal them up a little bit.
He's clearly focused here. I think he'd need to have like 50, 60 Eagles. And that's so pricey. I do like what he's doing, though. He's walling in his treb. If he could treb down Hera's trebuchet, that could be awesome.
He's waiting for Blast Furnace. It's such a long upgrade. It's still a minute away.
So many
Look
Cavalier.
at this. He's selling everything for gold, and he's like, yeah, I'm going Eagles. And I got all the upgrades, and I'm not doing anything else. So I just need more of them. I need 60 Eagles. I'm going to charge this and hope for the best. And there's possibilities here, especially with the Hera sending all of his Arbalists into the castle fire.
Yeah, I don't think he expected Bodkin to be able to range his arbs there. I think he wants the treb. Dave, Villese is taking that gold in the middle as well. Hera hasn't done anything about that. Even just one Cavalier, and suddenly there's no gold income or very little gold income.
Blast Furnace is in for both players. Bracer coming in now for Hera.
Oh
this
my
is going to be a
God.
massive fight, dude. He can't even select all the Eagles he has in one group. 67 Eagles right now for Villese, and he's pushing out the other way. He's deciding to come from the left side. He still has the treb working away at the trebuchet from Hera, and I think this is a good play from Villese. Don't push up that hill, force Hera out of position.
What happens if he just sends 20 of these Eagles into Hera's Eco right now? Isn't that the play?
Yeah, the Cavalier need to leave, and then you can work with the other 52 Eagles. But he's just going to engage, dude. A huge fight coming in. Oh, my goodness. Now, one-on-one, Cavalier should take the Eagles, but the Eagles have such a huge numerical advantage here.
I also feel like the Cavalier are bugging because they're bigger, right? They can't. Some of the Cavalier are not attacking, and that might have been the difference maker. It's still so close, though. The HP's close, everything. Villese is going to take the trebs, and Hera says, "See ya, I'm running right to your gold." What a game.
Pikemen are there from Villese, though. He does have Pikemen on the field, so the Cavalier are going to take some additional damage. Here, the Treb will go down, but the Eagle numbers are still there. Herbal Medicine right now. Did Mayans get it? If they do, get it.
I think every Civ should get it, but I don't know. Dave, he also feels like he's on the clock, though. Remember, he doesn't have relics. I still would love to have seen him send a couple of those Eagles into Hera's economy.
Hera's also got a Cavalier sitting on the gold to the left.
Yeah, so smart. So smart. Has the extra gold on the right. Knows that his opponent has to be running low on gold right now, but I'm with you. I mean, those Eagles could be 3,300 HP. I guess it's just you have to be fighting all the time, so maybe you don't have the time to wait for them to heal up, but still feels like it would be helpful.
Yep.
Hera with a nice little raid on the left side. His turn to get some eco damage in. Those Cavalier could follow those villagers right into the farming eco. But it's now Halb and Eagle, so Hera's adding more Arbalest, which is the correct move from him. This is awesome. This is quite a game, Dave, and we have a fight. Hera doesn't have the hill.
This time.
Hera does not have the hill.
He needs to run away from this.
Yep.
Yeah, he can't engage against that. That's just a wave of infantry from Villese, and Villese is going to have the hill now, and he's going to start working away at both of these castles. Hera even going for a second castle there. Villese will now snipe the Trebs on the front. Arbalest from Hera furiously microing, trying to take out the Halberdiers.
How many more Eagles can Villese make? We might see both players starting to sell resources for gold, but especially the Mayan player. Hera needs to get masonry. He needs to get all the technologies he can to keep these castles up. And he needs to get all hands on deck here for this fight. I love his micro, though. Arbs against the Halbs every time. That's so difficult. But it's so important for him because the Cavalier can still trade against these Eagles.
The Eagle numbers are going to go down against the Cavalier. Yeah, this is really, really great from Hera. And with that second castle up, that's going to help against the Halbs, too. Villese is going to have 3 Trebs, but he needs to hold for like another 2 minutes here for the Trebs to do their work. And I don't think he can against double castle stack with Arbalest sniping down all your halberdiers,
Mhm.
I think the army control here for Hera is just immaculate.
Well, the castles are doing work as well, right? I mean, I can't wait to look at the stats after this fight to see what the KD is for the castles, but right now it looks like they've contributed to 15 kills, and I'm sure a lot of assists. And the population just plummets for Villese. Hera holds. And if he takes these trebuchets, that might just be it. That might be the final wave.
It's over.
I don't see how you can make many more Eagles. I mean, the gold's still there, but Hera's pop is so good right now.
That's a crazy, really patient play from Hera.
Yeah.
To keep building that second castle under threat of 2 trebs, to have this position over here, to realize it's so important because he's stone-walled the left side, hasn't even gotten fortified wall, even on that side. And he knows Villese isn't on the gold on the left. He knows he has 4 relics, so Villese is going to be running out of resources. And just to even afford those 3 trebs, I think to replace them is just too much for Villese at this point.
Now, this could change a little bit because Villese is making an outpost on the left. And while Hera's had a Cavalier there, if this gets spotted, the gold could at least be taken.
Yep.
So that would be nice. And also the Siege Workshop for Villese so he can rush in. Because Hera knows exactly where the pressure is going to be coming in. I would have liked to have seen him hit the gold a bit more frequently, but he sees it now. He pulls his opponent over. I would say it is a lot more complicated to play Hera's position right now, civ-wise, by the way, to everyone watching. Like, it is not easy to go up against Eldorado Eagles at all. And
Oh, and Villese just goes right through the army with the Eagles. Hera losing Arbalest numbers, and the Arbalists were the thing keeping him alive, sniping down the halberdiers in that engagement before, and Hera just lost a bunch of them. He's down to 18. Queues up some more. And I think at this point now, if you're Villese, especially if you take down this castle, you're probably not going to push into the base. There's Cavalier raids coming from the back. Oh my god, you got to watch out for that. You got to think about going into the late game. And maybe teching into some skirmisher techs now while you still have gold.
Let's see if he can protect his trebs. He's kind of trickling them. He's used a lot of his army against the castle.
Arbalists are going down again.
They are going down, but will the treb go down? Villese is repairing. He's also walling out all the cav. He needs to get a house, though, or something. It might require 2 houses, or Hera will be in. Then again, it's just Halbs there.
Hera's in. But right into the halberdiers.
Yeah.
Oh, not a great trade there for Hera. I mean, he will win that fight, but there's barracks to reproduce. Eagles are still harassing here a little bit for Villese. Still repairing that treb. Hera's going to be out of stone pretty soon. Villese's found the gold on the left side. What a game.
What a game, and it's still 160 pop, and it still could go either way. But back to the castle conversation, the castles have contributed to 55 kills last I checked. That's insane. That's insane. That's like almost a fourth of his KD right now.
The light cav actually can't attack the treb because there's too many villagers repairing them.
So
they're going to work on the vills first. And the Eagles are going to go after the Arbalest, but the Eagle number's really struggling now. Villese even queuing up 5 militia. Love to see that.
Hera keeps the castle up, Dave. And again, that gold. I know he has the gold on the left, but there's only 6 Eagles now. And again, I'll say, I think Hera has officially held. He still has his castles, which have helped him wonderfully. And Villese just taps out at 150 pop.
So there was a couple things he could have done there. Resign is probably the most consistent option in his position. The other one is somehow try and tech into Skirm and somehow try and drag the game out to 2 hours. But your opponent has four relics, so it's going to be really tough.
Yeah, and if you can't raid Hera's base. I mean, as open as Hera's base was in the early stages, that wood line on the left where he could place a couple stone walls was so nice, and his castle position suited him wonderfully here. Again, this matchup is so dynamic. There's so many different things that you can see. So if you like competitive high-level Arabia, this is the match for you. And I think we saw the strengths of both civs, but it definitely had that feeling of, once Hera got the relics anyways and how it was played out in Castle Age, that it was about Hera holding and then Villese trying to break him, and it was just seemed impossible near the end.
That last game just showed us the advantage that Hera has over Villese in games. Villese could have gone aggressive in Feudal Age to punish Hera's open map. He went Drush Wall when your opponent has such an open map, and you scouted it too.
Yep.
And Hera just relied on the fact that Villese would play safe because he knows his playstyle. He abused that, went for a fast castle approach with 2 skirmishers only in Feudal Age to defend. And then even later on in the game, Villese just doubled down on the defense. And he never really put pressure onto Hera's base until Imperial Age.
Yeah, it's just a style. Villese has so much respect for Hera and maybe a little bit of healthy fear or unhealthy fear to wall up. I know Mayans do that, but I think of a player like Vinchester, who's not in their group. He's in another group, and he's been dominating. Vinchester, he's the guy who would go for that drush and follow it up with more militia and a faster range. And then I think Hera has problems.
Yeah, Hera would never play against a style like that against like MBL, Vinchester, Nikov, Sito even would punish that hardcore.
Yeah, definitely.
But against Villese, he gets away with it.
Yeah, and I mean, they play each other all the time, so they understand each other, and Villese will have to go back. Well, not really back to the drawing board. The guy did get a win here. He was very well prepared for fortified clearing. At the end of the day, these two are definitely going to be moving on out of the group. It's just a matter of who's going to be first and gets the bye to the quarterfinals, who's second and third and has to play in a round of 12. But game 1 worried me for this series, Dave. I don't know about you. I was concerned that it was going to be a bummer and that the games would not be solid. Game 2 and 3 really stepped it up. So well played to them.